Hello and welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Show. I am your host, Jay Jones. Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the Black community by promoting business ownership. If you are currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, we invite you to join us every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint.
Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 299. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show for the BEB family. This show is a very timely show, and it's titled How to Create Indestructible Income. How to create indestructible income. Now, with today's economic situation going on with the coronavirus and many people losing their entire incomes or a portion of their incomes, it's imperative to learn how to create indestructible income. Now, before we get to today's show, I just want to share a few things with the BEB family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's show, and I'm going to share all of my contact information and resource links, such as my new book, A New Black Wall Street, and also two of my platforms to help circulate the Black dollars in the worldwide Black economy, BeSmartByBlack.com and Hire Black Freelancers. All right, family, let's get at it. Today's show topic, how to create indestructible income. Now, I first want to start by defining what indestructible is. Indestructible is defined as not able to destroy, incapable of being destroyed, ruined, or rendered ineffective. Not able to destroy, incapable of being destroyed, ruined, or rendered ineffective. Now, today's show is very topical because the coronavirus right now is doing damage worldwide, physically and financially on people. So there are millions of people right now who have lost most of their income or a partial portion of their income. And right now, everybody realizes that most of us do not have indestructible income. And later on in today's show, I'm going to share a story with you where I decided that I needed to create indestructible income. And we're going to talk about what can affect your income and what makes your income indestructible, and what are some of the characteristics of indestructible income. So first, let's talk about what can affect your income. And the way I'm going to pose these points is that I'm going to talk to you either as an employee or an entrepreneur. So wherever you fall on that scale, an employee or entrepreneur, these are things that can affect your income. So number one is your career choice, okay? A function of your industry. So if you decide to be a school teacher, you know when you come out of college that your income range is going to be a certain level. Okay, if you come out of college and you're an engineer, you're going to probably make high, 80,000, maybe to 120,000 or whatever, versus a school teacher, depending upon where you live. I know in some southern states, they start school teachers off at like $35,000, $40,000. Okay, so what type of career do you have, or what career choice do you have? So it's a function of your industry that's going to affect your income. And once again, this is for employees or entrepreneurs. So wherever you fall on that side of the scale. Also, what else can affect your income is your education. And I'm not just talking about college education. I always talk about educating yourself at all times. If you're an entrepreneur, that is a profession. So you don't need a college degree to be a successful entrepreneur, but you do need education. And education can come in the form of all types of learning, online learning, listening to podcasts, videos, doing things, going to courses, taking classes. So we're talking about right now what can affect your income. The first thing is your career choice. Second thing is your education. And once again, we're not just talking about a college education because we're really focusing on entrepreneurs. Okay. Next is your skills. And we say it all the time. Skills pay the bills. If your skills are weak, guess what? Your income's going to be weak. You need to learn how to level up your skills. Okay. So once again, during this coronavirus time where a lot of us are shut in, use that time, leverage that time to increase your skill set. Skills pay the bills. What else can affect your income are economic trends. So changes in the economy and the job market. So for example, 2007, 2008, I had a mortgage business making millions upon millions of dollars. All right. There was an economic change. There was a recession. And what happened? My mortgage business went right off the cliff. So that can affect your income. Also, the economy and the jobs market obviously are tied together. Great economy, jobs are booming. We have an economic downfall, then a lot of people lose their jobs. Something else that can affect your income if you're an employee is your boss. So I'm sure there's many of you listening to this podcast right now that have idiots for bosses. And a lot of times we have to play the corporate game, even though we know we may know more than our boss or smarter than our boss and know how to do things better than our boss, but we have to play the game. So your boss can affect your income. Something else that can affect your income is how others value you. And that's as an employee and also as an entrepreneur. Because what we're doing is we're providing value. So if you provide solid value, you're going to get paid. So if you're an employee, do your bosses value you? Do they value your contribution to the company? Do you give 100%? Or you taking 12 smoke breaks a day and now people don't value you. So that's going to affect your income. And I always talk about this next one is your entrepreneur IQ. Your entrepreneur IQ is going to correlate directly to what you earn as an entrepreneur. So you're not going to start off as a new entrepreneur and know everything. Nobody knows everything. It's always a constant and consistent learning process. But your entrepreneur IQ must be honed at all times. You need to continue to hone your entrepreneur IQ. Now, in addition to taking courses and online learning or whatever you're doing, experience hones your entrepreneur IQ. So I always talk about the difference between knowledge and know-how. All right. Knowledge comes from watching, reading, learning, whatever. So I'll use this example again. So excuse me if you heard it, but I got to keep saying it. So if I watch a video that shows me how to fly an F-15 fighter jet, right? I have that knowledge. So I've watched the video. So I know if I pull the stick up, the plane will go up. If I do this, it'll do that. If I turn it to the left, it'll go left. If I turn it to the right, it'll go right. I can watch a video. I can read the manual. I can be in the back of the plane while somebody else is flying it. That's knowledge. So there's many ways to acquire knowledge. Now, I've got all that knowledge, and now the flight instructor says, hey, Jay, all right, you read all these books, you saw the videos, you were in the back of the cockpit when the pilot was flying. Do you know how to fly the F-15 fighter jet? And what's your answer? Your answer is obviously no. So knowledge can come from all types of different sources. Know-how comes from doing. In terms of developing your entrepreneur IQ, increasing your entrepreneur IQ, it comes from know-how, and know-how comes from doing. So we're talking about what can affect your income. All right. Also, your competitors. All right. If you're an entrepreneur, you may have competitors in your market, and you probably do. So how does your product and or service stack up against the competitors in your market? Do you have a highly valued or quality product? Or is your product shabby? Do people want your product or not? Okay, so it's a value. It's an exchange of value. The reason people don't buy things, guys, is because it's a value discrepancy. People don't see the value. So here's a perfect example of a value discrepancy. So if somebody said that they were going to sell you a Timex watch for $12,000, you wouldn't buy it, right? Because you don't see the value. But now, on the other hand, if somebody said they're going to sell you a Rolex watch for $200, you would jump on that because the value of the watch supersedes the perceived value of your prospective customer. So in terms of your competitors, that's another thing that can affect your income. So remember, guys, we're talking about how to create indestructible income. And we're breaking this episode down into 3 sections. We just went through section number 1 is what can affect your income. Next, we're going to talk about what makes your income indestructible. And lastly, we're going to talk about characteristics of indestructible income. So now let's talk about what makes your income indestructible, how you can position your income where nobody can touch it. So the first thing I want to talk about is invisible income, and that's income that people don't know you have. Okay, so it's protected from sabotage, from your competitors, and also economic downturns. So some of these type of investments, income can come from investments, stocks and bonds, dividends, annuities, real estate, or products or services that people don't know that you own. So I always talk to you guys and tell you that, I do flat irons and all kind of stuff, but I don't tell you the brand name on purpose. Okay, because I want to continue to have invisible income. So who's going to think a black dude with a bald head is going to be selling flat irons? First of all, it wouldn't be good for the brand because I wouldn't really be the face of the brand because I don't even use the product. Okay, so the product research was done for my business by my wife and my daughters. So number 1, that's invisible income. People don't know the brand, so they can't attack it based on who I am or whatever. So that's what you want to create. Now, just recently, Beatrice Dixon, the owner of Honey Pot, everybody probably saw the commercial with her on Target and how she got some backlash from white folks because basically she was saying that she was glad she got in Target because that would give incentive to other young black women entrepreneurs. And so she got backlash. But the positive thing that came out of this is the community stood up behind her. And she said in one article that her sales almost doubled after she started getting the unfair backlash. So once again, invisible income. Now, unfortunately, luckily we stood behind her. But that could have been a death knell to her business. Okay. And it's true a lot in e-commerce, and I'm big in that space, guys, that you can really lose all of it if, you have sabotage by competitors. So a lot of times if you're the top dog in a business or a vertical, what'll happen is a lot of times people will get together and create bad reviews, fake reviews, especially on Amazon, and jam you up. And if you drop anything under like a 4.2 in terms of stars, your product sales are going to go off the cliff. I'm telling you right now. That's why you don't want to be beholden to Amazon to sell your products. That's a whole nother story we can get into later. But those are the things you got to deal with. So creating invisible income. Right now, we're talking about what makes your income indestructible. So that's invisible income. Also, and we all know this, multiple streams of income. You need diversification. So if one thing goes bad, you got others to pick it up. So it's like having eggs in a basket. If you only got one egg in a basket and that egg breaks, your ass out, right? So you need multiple streams of income. Now, your multiple streams of income could be working for, corporate America and having a business on the side. That's 2 streams of income. And hopefully they're not connected to the point if something happens where you'll lose both of your income streams. Okay. So sometimes in terms of diversification, even though a lot of us tend to do things that we learned in corporate America. So if you're in corporate America right now and still have a side business, then hopefully they're not necessarily connected or in the same industry or can be, affected by something happening in an industry. So, for example, one of my best friends, he works at the Philadelphia shipyard. He's a foreman and a manager down there, been there like 20 something years. But he also has a carpet cleaning, commercial cleaning business that's totally different. Now, what happened was, which is pretty crazy, he said during the coronavirus outbreak, he does sanitation. So he's going and has a lot of contracts with private schools to go in and sanitize those schools. And we're going to talk about, economic trends and things of that nature too, and how that affects your indestructible income. So multiple streams of income. So even, God forbid, if his shipping, employment went down, he still has a very prosperous commercial cleaning business. So you also want to make sure you have multiple streams of income that aren't necessarily tied to the same industry or the same vertical. Because once again, something happens in that vertical, it can affect both of your streams of income. So it's good to have more than two streams of income. So that's why I always talk about e-commerce. That can be a stream of income. And e-commerce, remember, guys, is just a delivery platform, the way you deliver your products and or services. Okay, so it could be anything. You could be selling information. You could be selling physical products, digital products or services or whatever. But e-commerce is a delivery method. All right, so we're talking about right now what makes your income indestructible. All right, next, we have income that's not affected by economic trends. And that's what I was just talking about. So ability to make money in any situation. Let me repeat that. The ability to make money in any situation. Okay. Now, for example, you want to have an income source, for a bad economy. You want to have an income source for a good economy. All right. And then you want to have an income source for any economy. All right. So let me just give you some examples. So what's an income source in a bad economy? All right. Payday loans. It's real bad, but it's just an example. Payday loans are an income source. If you own a payday loan company, which once again, I hope none of us do because you know what they're doing to our community, but I'm just using this as an example. So if you own a payday loan company, so when the economy is bad, that business flourishes. Back in the day, loan modifications, when people were losing their mortgages, a lot of mortgage companies transitioned into loan modification companies trying to help people salvage their homes. So that was a bad economy, but that was a money-making business like crazy. Credit repair. So the economy is bad. People are losing their jobs. Things that are going on right now. Credit repair is a great industry. All right. Low-income housing. So if you Section 8 housing, if you own properties, right, people are losing their job, or you may have people that lost a percentage or portion of their income. Low-income housing. So right now we're talking about what makes your income indestructible. We talked about invisible income, multiple streams of income. Now income not affected by economic trends. That's the ability to make money in any economic situation. Right now we're just talking about income in a bad economy. Payday loans, loan modification companies, credit repair, low income housing, Section 8 housing, things of that nature. So you want to have a stream of income coming from that. All right, how about income sources in a good economy? A lot of times when the economy is good, everything is rolling, like right before the crash in 2008. High price luxury items. People were buying big ass houses like crazy, like they were going out of style. Everybody I knew except myself was buying Escalades, luxury vehicles, lines of credit. So if you're selling money, lines of credit. People that are doing loans at that time were making a ton of money. So you need to try to create an income stream for a good economy. So when the economy is good, most people are buying all types of things. So it could be television sets, consumer electronics, anything like that. So when the economy is good, people are spending money. Next, you want to create an income source for any economy. All right. So it doesn't matter if it's a good economy or a bad economy. And one of the biggest things for any economy is how to make money. Business opportunities, how to make money. People want to know how to make money in any economy. So in this economy right now, people have lost their job, right? And I've been talking about e-commerce for years upon years. So if you had an e-commerce business right now, based on the industry, you could still be making money. So income sources for any economy, and how to make money, business opportunities, and how to make money is always going to be there. That's going to be a constant, a consistent. How to start a business. That's going to be a consistent. It doesn't matter what the economy is. Good economy, people want to start businesses, and a bad economy, people want to start businesses. And sometimes in a bad economy, they want to start businesses because they don't have any other choice. I call that a reluctant entrepreneur. You're doing it just because you don't have any other options. So once again, we're talking about income not affected by economic trends. You want to create that too. So income streams for a bad economy, income streams in a good economy, and income sources for any economy. This is how you create indestructible income, family. So it shouldn't matter what the economy. You need a line in the water for that, whatever type of water you're in. If you're fishing in deep sea fishing, you need a line for that. You fishing in a lake, you need a line for that. You fishing in a river, you need a line for that. So you need a line for a bad economy, a good economy, and also any type of economy. So this is what makes your income indestructible, incapable of being destroyed, ruined, or rendered ineffective. Okay? And really no one stream of income is going to be able to do that. So you always need to focus on multiple streams of income. All right. Next, we're going to talk about characteristics of indestructible income. These are some of the characteristics of indestructible income. Before we get to this section, I just want to share a few things with the BEB family. And as we're talking about indestructible income, I've had so many people reach out to me about my BBAelite.com new implementation program, which is my 12-week e-commerce program that drops one module each week. So I've actually brought it down even more, family, for the next 5 people. If you go to BBAelite.com, it's only $97. Just go in, put your information in. It'll take you to another page. When you register, use the promo BBA Elite 100. BBA Elite 100, like Brand Builder Academy Elite. BBA Elite 100. And that's going to take $100 off of the $197 price. So there's only $97. I've had, and this is no joke, I've had about 45 to 50 people reach out to me. Yo, can you lower the price? I'm going through a tough time right now. Blah, 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 blah. So for the next 5 people that want to jump on, go to BBAelite.com. Go through that whole process. Watch the video before you enroll. And also use the code when you enroll, BBA Elite 100. BBA Elite 100. Also, my new book is out, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. It's all about building an economic power base in the black community. You can go to anewblackwallstreet.com. Pick yourself up a copy. Print is $14.95. Digital is $9.95. Great book. And once again, if you're looking for something that you need to do right now while this coronavirus is attacking people's physical and also financial stability, definitely check out the book anewblackwallstreet.com. Also, my flagship course, which goes along with that, is called educatedecommerce.com. You can go enroll in educatedecommerce.com for that course. Now, I do recommend, if you're going to do anything, go to BBAelite.com. BBAelite.com is the newer course, and it's educated e-commerce on steroids. And it also has the curriculum, the community, and the coaching. All right. Excuse me. Next, I talked about in the opening 2 platforms I've created to help circulate the black dollar worldwide. The first one is BeSmartByBlack.com. So if you're a black product producer and you want to sell your products to black consumers worldwide, upload your product information. It is totally free. Upload the information and you can connect with black consumers worldwide to sell your product. Now, I didn't forget about you freelancers. So if you do anything on Fiverr.com or Freelancer.com, just go to HireBlackFreelancers.com, HIRE, BlackFreelancers.com. Upload your information. Once again, it is free also. So any black consumers or black business owners that want to hire black freelancers, your information will be up there. So make sure you go there. Now, if you want to book me, and I know right now this corona thing is out there, but somebody may be listening to this after it's over. If you want to book me for my book tour, speaking, lectures at any colleges, universities, organizations, or whatever, keynotes, please go to bookjjones.com, fill out the short form, and I'll get back to you. Also, all of this information can be found on bebconnect.com, bebconnect.com, just like Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Now, if you want to reach out to me, which please feel free to do so, I try to get back to you as soon as I can. Anything long, hit me on email, jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, JAYJONES@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Hit me on Facebook. Just go to Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, and you'll find me. Twitter, jjones001, JAYJONES001. Instagram, jjones for real, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. I have additional content that comes out on YouTube that is not on the show. Yes, the show does come out on YouTube, but this is additional content. I just uploaded something today, a new short video, and I'm actually going to be doing a new series too that's going to be coming out within the next week. So go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, hit the subscribe button, please. Also, if you want to be included in the BEB text line for information and notifications, please go to BEB, text BEB to 555-888, BEB to 555-888. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Go to LinkedIn, look for J Jones, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. And once again, all of this information can be found at bebconnect.com. That's going to give you the last podcast episode, all my resource links, all the courses and everything, those resource links, the platforms, and also all my social media contact information. So please link up with me on social media. All right, we got that out the way. Now, let's get back to the last section. Once again, how to create indestructible income. First, we talked about what can affect your income. Next, we talked about what makes your income indestructible. Now we're going to talk about characteristics of indestructible income. All right, now, indestructible income. The biggest thing I tell you guys all the time, if you're in any of my courses or whatever, it's solving a problem. Okay, if you can solve a problem, you will make money. I don't care if you're selling a product and or a service or both. All right, you need to solve a problem. People will spend money to solve a problem. Just like I talked about having income in all these different types of economies. In a bad economy, right? If your money is short, you may need a payday loan. That's solving a problem. In a good economy, right? So you might want a new house. So you buy a luxury house. That's solving a problem that you have in your mind. It's not a real problem per se, but it's solving a problem to you. Also, in any economy, you want to be able to solve problems for any economy. Okay, once again, how to start a business, how to make money, business opportunities or whatever. Okay, passive income, whatever that is. So you need to solve a problem. These are characteristics of indestructible income. Now, the type of businesses that you or income streams you put around these characteristics are up to you. But you need to solve a problem. Now, I tell you guys all the time, there's only 6 things you can sell. So you can only sell your physical products, your digital products, or your services, somebody else's physical products, somebody else's digital products, or somebody else's services. That's it. Now, there's millions of things under those different verticals, but that's all you can sell. So what you want to do is you want to figure out how to solve a problem. Once again, characteristics of indestructible income. Number 2, and this is big, family. I tell my kids and my wife this all the time. You need to be able to understand human nature. Understand human nature. It's one of the greatest forces in the world. Okay, if you can wrap your head and understand human nature, you're going to be able to create indestructible income. And what do I mean by understanding human nature? Human nature says, for the most part, not everybody, but many people will buy what they want versus what they need. Many people, trust me, I've been marketing and being an entrepreneur and selling for years in my own business, obviously, and for corporate America. Many times people will buy what they want before they buy what they need. So how many people do you know that have, they're not expensive now, big screen TVs now, and they 2 months back on their mortgage? Or their car costs more than their house. See what I'm saying? I had an associate of mine, a friend of a friend that I knew, nice brother. Mom lived in his house, in a row house in Philly. Excuse me. Row house, you go over to his mom's house, the roof is leaking like crazy. He got a bowl on top of the television, right? Mom's house is falling down, but he's driving a 500 Benz. The car literally costs more than his mom's house. And so he decided to put his money into the car instead of something that is going to make money. All right. So once again, people buy, human nature. Many people, not everybody, many people will buy, do what they want before they buy what they need. Okay. Also, you need to understand about human nature. The two motivating factors, and I've said this before, are pain and pleasure. Okay. Most people, you either run away from pain or you run toward pleasure. This is human nature, family. Understand this. Pain and pleasure, the two largest motivating factors. Okay. Now, most people run away from pain and towards pleasure. Okay. Now, here's how entrepreneurs think. Entrepreneurs think they're running towards pleasure. That's what most entrepreneurs do. The general population runs away from pain. They're wired. They may be wired a little different, but the majority of people run away from pain. They try to avoid pain. Entrepreneurs try to go towards pleasure. Okay. So you need to understand human nature. Okay. So once again, these are characteristics of indestructible income. Now, the way you attach these to the products and or services you sell, that's up to you. But these are some of the characteristics. And number 3, first it was solve a problem. Number 2 is understand human nature. And number 3, understand consumer behavior. Consumer behavior. Human nature is one thing. Consumer behavior is something else. So when you talk about this stupid ass Popeye's chicken sandwich thing, that's consumer behavior. It's idiocy to me. It was insanity to me. I don't even understand how that thing happened. But understanding consumer behavior. Now, if you truly want to understand the consumer behavior for us black folk, go back to episode number 282. All right, and I had Miss Cheryl Grace. She's the senior vice president of Nielsen. So you heard of the Nielsen ratings. And so she came on the show, and the title of that episode was What Your Business Needs to Know About Black Consumer Spending Habits. What your business needs to know about black consumer spending habits. So if you're selling to our people, this is an episode you must listen to. It was very informative. Episode 282, What Your Business Needs to Know About Black Consumer Spending Habits. And I interviewed Ms. Cheryl Grace, Senior Vice President of Nielsen. And they reached out to me, and I was so glad that they did, because they had listened to one of my other shows, Here's What They Think About You. Why other ethnicities think we're a joke in business and in life. And they heard that episode. Somebody in the Nielsen heard that episode, and they were like, hey, we need to get Cheryl on here so, we can chop it up. But this is very important. This is intel. This is stuff that you need to know. So if your consumer market is African Americans or black folk all over, and this is predominantly talking about the U.S., then you definitely want to listen to episode 282 with Cheryl Grace. So write that down right now, or go click on Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, type in 282 or whatever. Just Google it, BE Black Entrepreneur Blueprint 282. Excuse me. So you want to understand consumer behavior. Okay. So these are the things, guys, that you want to really focus on. And I just want to tell you, I'm going to rehash this real quick, and I'm going to end with a personal story. So what we were talking about today, guys, is how to create indestructible income. And we had 3 phases. What can affect your income? So your career choice can affect your income, your education, your skill set. Skills pay the bills. The economic trends, changes in the economy and job market. Your boss can affect your income. And remember, we're talking about employees and entrepreneurs. How others value you. What type of value, perceived value do you have for your company or as an entrepreneur? Okay. Your entrepreneur IQ. You got to level that up at all times. Also, your competitors. These are things that can affect your income. All right. Next, we talked about what makes your income indestructible. And I talked about 3 things. Number 1 was invisible income. That's income that people don't know you have. It's protected from sabotage and economic, sabotage mostly. And business people don't know you own that, or businesses people don't know you own. So it could be real estate, investments in stocks and bonds, dividends, annuities, anything, but it's invisible to others. So if nobody knows that you own it, they can't attack it. Okay? So if you were a fighter and you in the ring and you could turn invisible except your gloves, I guess, unless you in there butt naked, right? But they would see your gloves and your trunks and all that. But if you were invisible, then they can't attack you. They don't know where you are. And that's what invisible income is. All right, what else makes your income indestructible? Multiple streams of income, diversification. So if one goes south, you got another one and maybe 2 or 3 other income streams that are going to keep you afloat and keep you prosperous. And the other thing in terms of what makes your income indestructible is having income that's not affected by economic trends, the ability to make money in any situation. And I use the example of income in bad economies. Okay, so if you're a payday lender, it's a bad economy, you're making money. If you're a foreclosure attorney, you're making money in a bad economy. All right. If you're a bankruptcy attorney, you're making money in a bad economy. If you're a repo man, you're making money in a bad economy. If you're a real estate investor, if you're a smart real estate investor, you're making money in a bad economy. So just for example, so say you're not a foreclosure attorney. You can have a business, though, that cleans out foreclosures. That's big money. Okay. So you don't necessarily have to be an attorney. But these are types of businesses that you can create in a bad economy, or have that type of business that's there for a bad economy. So say you have a moving business, which works in a good economy, right? People are buying houses. The economy is good. People are upgrading their houses or whatever. Now you got the manpower and you got the trucks, right? So in a bad economy, why don't you use that manpower and trucks? And now you could do foreclosure cleanouts for banks, for real estate owned, for REOs. So you got to be smart about it. So what we're talking about now is income not affected by economic trends. So those are income sources for bad economy. Income sources in a good economy. You have high priced or luxury items like houses, cars, boats. If you're in the banking business, lines of credit, consumer electronics. When people are making money, those are going like crazy. So that's income sources for a good economy. Then you need an income source for any economy. How to make money opportunities, business opportunities, things like that. Selling money is always good. It doesn't matter what the economy is. Somebody always wants some money. So you need to have, once again, income sources for a good economy, bad economy, and any economy. So that takes care of what makes your income indestructible. And what I just went over were characteristics of indestructible income. Number one of the characteristics of your business, and once again, you can attach this to any type of business, product, service, whatever. You need to be able to solve a problem. That helps keep your business indestructible. Number 2, you need to understand human nature. All right. So understanding human nature. People either run away from pain or they move toward pleasure. Human nature is one of the greatest forces out there. So if you don't understand that, it's going to be hard for you to connect and sell whatever your product and or service is. That's number 2. And number 3 is understanding consumer behavior. Understanding consumer behavior. Who is your target consumer? Do you understand that behavior? And these are characteristics of indestructible income. Let me give you guys a quick story before we close on out. Excuse me. And this is the point in time where I vowed to myself that I was never going to be reliant or beholden to somebody else paying me. All right. So I didn't get the entrepreneur thing right away. And most people don't. So you have to understand and recognize what you're getting into. So I came out of college. I'm in corporate America. Go do my first quote unquote real business. I'm out for about 3 years. Get married, have kids. My business partner got married. He had kids. So ended up going back into corporate America. Did that for another year and a half. Came back out. All right. This business went okay. My son got sick. Things happened. Went back in real quick. All right. Came back out again. Finally started getting it right. And the last time I went back into corporate America, I was working for a small sales organization. And one day, the lady that owned the business was handing out the paychecks. And I'd been there about 4 weeks at the time. So I was there long enough for a payroll cycle. and I was in outside sales. So I'd be in the morning, out during the day, and back before 5 o'clock. So payday came, and everybody was in Friday morning in their cubicles before we hit the road. Excuse me. And she came by, and she started handing out paychecks. Now, she passed right by me, but I figured, well, maybe since I was the newest hire, that my paycheck would be on the bottom. So she passed by, went through everybody, came by me 2 times, and then ended up going back to her office. And I'm thinking, okay, this doesn't sound right. Doesn't look right anyway. So I go knock on the door, and I forgot her name. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't get a paycheck today. And she looked at me, and she was like, well, did you do anything? And I said, did I do anything? I said, I've been here 4 weeks. You see me in the office every day. I said, I bought in several contracts. It was an advertising position. I bought in several contracts, so you know I'm working. You know, just because you don't see me, you know, the majority of the day, you know I'm doing something. And she said, well, I guess I'll give you a paycheck then. I said, time out. I said, give me. I said, I've earned that. This was the job description. I've been doing the job. And she said, okay, I'm going to have to call it in, and I'll have it for you after lunch or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I said, you know, I don't need to be degraded and controlled like that. I said, we already started off on a bad foot. It's not going to get any better. And right there at that point, I said, that's it. Game over. This is never going to happen to me again, God willing. So I went home. I didn't even get the check. I explained to my wife what happened. You know, she was like, damn, you don't want to go get the check, bro? And I was like, nah. I said, I don't even want that money. I said, this is going to be motivation. I don't even know what the check was for, to be honest with you, because it was the first one. I said, this is motivation for me to go out there and do what I need to do, control my own destiny, and create indestructible income. And so that was the first foray. And I left there, and I had the game plan. I already had a game plan what I was going to do when I came back out again. So it wasn't like I wasn't preparing to leave. I just wasn't planning to leave at that time. But sometimes things happen that work in your benefit. So she basically forced my hand. And it's funny, we were in the car with my wife and daughters yesterday, and she was like, yeah, you know, your father never could work for anybody. It was always something. I was like, yeah, because my spirit. It's my spirit. Matter of fact, the question was, we were talking about slavery, and I was like, yeah, I said, I probably would have been dead. I said, because my spirit is not subservient. My spirit is not, I'm not built like that. And yes, I know if I grew up in that time, I would have a different, impression of what's going on, because quote unquote, that would be normal. But I know in my spirit, that's not normal. And so, yeah, I told my wife and kids, I said, yeah, you know, I'd probably be dead because I'm not going to live like that. You know, I rather, you know, die than to live, you know, in bondage. And then my wife was like, yeah, that's why he can't work for anybody. I said, sure enough, you're right about that, babe. And that at that point, guys, I made a conscious effort, and I made that decision that I'm never going to have anybody holding that over my head again in life. So I need to create indestructible income. I didn't create indestructible income right away because I didn't even think about it. All I wanted to do was create income. So use my experience and start to build indestructible income. So when the coronavirus hits, you may lose your job, but you still got paper coming in from your other business, from your eCommerce business, from your commercial cleaning business, from whatever else you're doing, your tutoring business, whatever else you're doing. Okay, make sure you create indestructible income, because it's a bad thing. And I've lived it and I've done it. I almost lost it all twice. I told you guys I'm pretty wide open on the show. And I told you guys twice, I almost lost everything twice. Everything. I'm talking everything. Homes, car, everything. So I know what it is to struggle. The struggle is real. All right. But you got to level up that entrepreneur IQ. You got to create that indestructible income where you can't be touched. Stop telling everybody all your business. I know you're excited when you start a business. Guess what? A lot of my family don't even know what I do. When they know I have a podcast and I have businesses, but if if you ask them, hey, what does Jay do? What are all the businesses he has? What does he do? They couldn't tell you. And that's on purpose. People don't need to know all your business. I got one partner. That's my wife. Okay. I collaborate with people, but I don't do partnerships anymore. And that's just me from my personal experience. Okay. My wife isn't even in my business. She's just my partner in life. She's not in she couldn't tell you if something happened to me right now. I have it written down. I have everything that she would need to do, but she couldn't run my businesses. Okay. So stop telling everybody what you do, because the same people that you do the most for appreciate it the least. Man, I got so many stories I can tell you about former employees that I've bent over backwards for that tried to eventually sabotage, take my business down. So a lot of times keep it close to the vest. Stop. I know you're proud about what you're accomplishing and all that, but there's certain streams of income that you need to keep to yourself. And I'm not talking about from your partner, your significant other. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about other people around you, because it's very unfortunate. Many times the people closest to you become envious of you when they see you doing what you know God put you here to do, and they just don't have the gumption or the strength or the system to get where you are. So when you sit here and you start telling people, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, don't share that information with them. They can't receive it. It wasn't for them to receive. It was for you. So yeah, you may just share just to, bounce things off of people. But why are you bouncing something off somebody that has no interest or no education or no knowledge about starting a business? So when you start telling people your big dreams, what you'll find out is, are they really a friend? I talked about it in one show. There's 4 types of people entrepreneurs are going to deal with: family, friends, foes, and fools. Family, friends, foes, and fools. And a lot of them are going to be in several categories. Family is your family. You can't do nothing about that. Okay. Friends are people, and a lot of time your family are the ones that don't understand you and give you a hard time. Friends are people that are going to support you no matter what. Foes are people that specifically oppose you. And fools are just ignorant people that are ignorant to what you're trying to do. Ignorant as in not knowing, not being dumb, but as in not knowing. So when God gives you that gift or that dream, that was for you. It's not for everybody else. You can share it with your significant others or your friends or people you think are your friends or your family if you want to. But that's not the dream for them. It's your dream. So when you're out here trying to get it and you're trying to create indestructible income, if you say indestructible income and start talking about business to some of your closest friends, family members, or even spouse or partner, a lot of them going to look at you like you got 2 heads because they don't understand. And guess what? It may not be for them to understand. You got to show them. I'll show you better than I can tell you. That's what I always say. Let me show you better than I can tell you. Because I can sit here and give lip service and tell you all kind of things. Show and prove. That's how we grew up. Show and prove. Oh, you nice on the court? Yeah, I heard all of that. You got to go out and prove that. Show and prove. I'll show you before I can tell you. Before we close on out today's show, family, once again, please continue to spread the word. We get more and more downloads each and every day. And also, please subscribe to that YouTube channel, family. I'm trying to build that thing up to 10,000 subscribers within the next couple of months. So please go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint and hit that subscribe button. I got some hot things coming out for you guys that are not on the show. Some interviews and some shorter type pieces that you can get on maybe 2 or 3 times a week. We're working on that right now. We're building up the catalog before we start dropping everything. But please go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Once again, guys, I can't do this without you. We're trying to get out this good word. It's about Black economic empowerment worldwide. Once again, family, I can't stress it enough. If you're sitting home and you've been affected by this coronavirus physically, we're praying for you. Financially, you can do something about that. Like I said, the world is at your fingertips. E-commerce is here. It's been here. We're always at the forefront when it comes to music and entertainment and all that. Let's make sure we get to the forefront when it comes to economic empowerment. So if you got free time on your hands, whatever you're supposed to be doing to level up, that's what you need to be doing. And leveling up doesn't mean you're going to catch up on the last 3 seasons of Ozark, right? Yeah, you can do that. But once again, 24 hours in a day, how are you going to use your time? Everybody gets the same amount of time. And I know we have personal obligations and things we have to do. Use this time to level up. Stop playing. It's not a game. If your pockets don't tell you right now, and if you've been affected by what's going on right now, you know this ain't a game. Playtime is over. I always told my kids, you enjoy yourself after the work is done. Do the work and then you play. So now playtime is over, family. It's time to get it. Not just for yourself. Like Dame Dash always said, hustle for your last name, not your first. We talking about legacy, generational wealth. We're talking about taking it to another level. And that's what this whole podcast, not the podcast, that's what the movement is about. This is the BEB family. This is the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint movement. No revolution without economics. No revolution without economics. I got my shirt on right now that says dedicate, educate, elevate, aggregate, liberate. Dedicate. Dedicate yourself. Dedicate yourself to your business, to your family. Educate yourself. You're dedicated to educate, to elevate. Who you helping up? You got to elevate yourself before you pull somebody else up. Aggregate. That means come together. So all our money right now, everybody's spending it haphazardly. We need to focus. I always talk about weaponizing the black dollar. Until we start punching people in the mouth with that black dollar by either taking it away from other people and giving it to our own people, supporting our own black businesses worldwide, nothing's going to happen. And then you got liberate. That's freedom. That's what we're talking about. Dedicate, to educate, to elevate, to aggregate, to liberate. Love you guys. I'll see you same time next week. Peace.